up, everybody on YouTube? It's your boy, the Memphis XLR8, coming from a slightly different room today. And today we're taking a look at another episode of all of my card games. The show, we take a look at whatever deck we want to play. We have ourselves a good fun time doing so. Today we're taking a look at a Watt-centric deck. It's a little bit of Watt. It's a little... What's up, everybody on YouTube? It's your boy, the Memphis XLR8, coming at you with another episode of all of my card games. The show where we take a look at our deck we feel like we have such a good fun time. Today we're taking a look at, it's an interesting sort of deck we got here today. This is kind of sort of Watts, but it's mostly a Thunder Stun deck using the monster Zap Mustang in order to lock our opponent out of special summoning, as well as giving ourselves a bit of a board, running our opponent over. We stun them a little bit just so that they can't do their combos. As long as this horse, they can't beat this horse, he ain't dead. That's what we like to do with this deck. So we're gonna go into yugioh Pro. I'm gonna show this deck off, show you how it works. But real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what we're using today, and then we're gonna get started. So for our main deck, we're running 3 copies of the Thunderclap Monk, 3 copies of Thunderhand, 3 copies of Zap Mustang, 2 copies of Thunder Seahorse, 2 copies Ma Hunter, 2 copies Pa Hunter, 3 copies of Watt Giraffe, 3 copies Honest, 3 copies of Watt Cobra. We have 3 copies of Toys of the Brethren, 3 copies of Watt Train, 3 copies Pot of Prosperity, 1 Call by Grave, 3 Scrap Iron Scarecrow, 1 Imperial Order, and 2 Watt Cancel. Our extra deck isn't that important with this particular deck, although I am going to be running a couple copies of Chimera Tech, 3 copies of Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, 3 Natis in case of Dogmatica, got 2 copies of Baguska, 1 Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, a Borload, a Boral Guard, a Boral Sword, an Appaloosa. It's mostly fodder for our pot, but we have them all in there just in case. Side deck, just additional monsters if you don't really care about the Watts as much. Thunder King Ryo, Lightning Rod Lord are very nice monsters. And if you want more draw, more search, Pot of Extravagance as well, if you happen to be feeling you need it. So with that all being said, let's go into good old yugioh Pro and show this deck off, show you how it works, and have ourselves a good time. Alright, here are our first opponent. And we are going to go first. You want to go first with this deck as often as you can. Let's see here. Okay, we got parts of what we want, but we need a specific card. That card being the Toys of the Brethren. You want the Toys of the Brethren. It's your most important card, if you didn't know. So let's go ahead. We're going to banish some extra deck card. We don't need the extra deck with this deck very much. It's fairly irrelevant. It's mostly just fodder for pot. Come on, give me Toys of the Brethren. No Toys of the Brethren for me. Alright. Well, I can very least get things set up for next turn. You know, sometimes you gotta rely on plan B. You know, and we do have plan B. We have plan C. So we're gonna go ahead and do summon out Mahunder. The Ma and the Pa, they both have the same effect. I can get an additional normal summon of Thunder Monster. And that's exactly what we shall do. And, in fact, I shall do it again. Because this is not a once per turn. It's just restricted to not summoning itself. So we'll summon out Thunderclap Monk, who does nothing, because he has to be special summoned to use his effect. It's a thing. It's unfortunately a thing, but you know, that's not the point. The point right now is we're trying to deck thin. Watt Train lets us add, with this setup, 3 Watts with different names. We are only playing 3 Watts, because that's all we really need to make this work. So let's go ahead, we're going to get all that set up. I shall make a Baguska. He is plan B. Here's plan B. Baguska. Baguska will be set up for us. I've got my Scrap Iron Scarecrow, which is actually very important. I will, you know, once I get Zap Mustang out here, you'll understand why it's very important that I have this. And we'll end our turn for now. Alright. So like I said, we gotta start to what we need to do. You know, like I said, what you really need with this deck to function fully is you got to get yourself your copy of Toys of the Brethren as soon as possible. It's your most important card. You really need to just get it out. What did he play? Vision Fusion. Elemental Hero Absolute Zero. Okay. I hit my watt cancel. That's annoying. It's a little bit annoying. And what is he doing now? Polymerization into sunrise. Okay, he did that out of order. Now that's not gonna do anything. But it's fine. Thunderclap Monk is gonna go off. And I get to special summon my Watt Cobra in defense mode. Very nice thing. When Thunderclap leaves the board, you can summon a Thunder monster in defense mode. It's not that important, but it works. It works just fine. And I could use Watt Train, but there's no reason to do so. Sadly, my Watt Giraffe is not big enough to kill the Sunriser, but it's fine. You know what? It's fine and dandy. We can attack directly with our Watts. That's the most important feature of the Watts, is that they can attack directly. So there you go. So let's go ahead and add another Watt monster just to have another Watt monster. Wishing I hadn't banished my big links. Like I said, you very rarely make them. Oh, wait, no, I can make... Oh. Yeah, I'm glad I left her. I left Big Mama Underworld. Alrighty, so here's what we're gonna do. You know, sometimes you never know where the deck's gonna go. And you know what? It works out just fine. So we're gonna summon out both of our Watts from our hand. Hello. Here I am. And let's go ahead and make Underworld Goddess. That way I will be able to stop my opponent's graveyard shenanigans and non-targeted stuff. I got Underworld Goddess. He has nothing. Look at this guy. You know, my deck's all about stunning. He's pretty stunned right now because he has got a whole lot of heckin' lot of nothing. I mean, what is he gonna do? He lost his Stratos. What else does he not have? He has a whole lot of nothing. This can only be affected by targeted effects, so no Regekis, nothing like that. And my opponent does surrender, as expected. I was a little too much for him. So, an interesting first duel. Wasn't exactly where I expected it to go. I was hoping to, you know, go for Ties of the Brethren, summon out my horse and stop him from special summoning at all, which is the whole idea, but sometimes you just gotta go for Plan D, which stands for Big Old Mama Underworld Goddess. That's what Plan D is. So, good for first duel. Let's go for duel number 2 and show off some more of the things this deck can do, because I really just want to show off Toys of the Brethren. Alrighty, our secondary opponent. Let's go in and hopefully show off the Toys of the Brethren. Alright, no Toys of the Brethren here. Unfortunately, I mean, I've got Ma Hunter, which is nice. My opponent does a whole lot of nothing, though. That's exactly what we want to see. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. The one bad thing is I don't have Honest, which is the one thing I don't like in this hand. But other than that, this will work just fine. So here's what we're going to do. Summon out Watt Giraffe. Play Toys of the Brethren on our Watt Giraffe. You can use this on any of our Thunder monsters, but we want to summon Monk. And you want to summon Zap Mustang. Hello. Summon this. Summon that. So basically, here's what this card does. Now that it's been special summoned, neither of us can special summon. Neither me nor my opponent can special summon. It's a nasty little number, and my opponent tries to use a monster effect, I can negate with my Monk, and all will be good. You know, my opponent, in order to special summon, he has to attack me now. Basically, so if he doesn't have anything at 1600 or more, he can't do any special. Well, he could just attack into Mustang with something weaker, but he'll only have one special summon, essentially. Essentially, that's how this works. So we'll see how it goes. This is where the effect of Scrap Iron Scarecrow comes in handy. My opponent only has, say, one monster. When you're going first, it only has one monster. And that's where you want to go, because you want it, so... Okay, so what is he doing? I don't want him doing that. Go away, Raiden. Alright, Thunderclap Monk. Special summons a thunder monster from the hand. In defensive mode. I'm feeling Watt Cobra. Because I want to have him attack directly and do some searching. That's what I would like to do. Yeah, he should have just attacked my Mustang, but for some reason he chose not to do that. Very odd, very odd. Alright, so he's sending Trick Clown, but he can't special summon because of the effect of my powerful Zap Mustang. He can only special summon if he attacks, and he's not understanding how this works. It's understandable though, because not many people remember Zap Mustang. Very overlooked monster. My opponent surrenders. Beautiful. That's exactly what we want this deck to do. And the only way this could have been better is if I had my Scrap Iron Scarecrow just completely lock him out of stuff. So there's duel number 2, and very nice. Very nice indeed. Let's go ahead for duel number 3. Show this deck off. And this is pretty much the apex of where this deck's going to go. But I want to show off it in one more duel. So let's go for one more duel and go out with a bang. Alrighty, third opponent. You know, so far so good with this deck. You know, it's one of those decks that, you know, sometimes you get the perfect hand, sometimes you don't. This is one of those hands that is not perfect. You know, I got both Pahunders, and that's about it. But I do have Watt Cancel, so I can negate a summon. So my opponent tries to hit me with, like, I don't know, Dragoon, for example. I should be able to stop that. Alright. I do appreciate more life points. This is true, comrade. Comrade, I like more life points, thank you. Alright, starting with a set card. And that was it. Okay, let you do that. So let's go ahead and use the effect of Pahunter. We're just going to swarm board with our Hunters for a moment. You know, I'll probably just swarm. Well, I need to leave Watt Giraffe, sadly. I kind of need to have a Watt in hand to do the effect I want to do. So I'm just going to attack with these. I'm just going to attack with these and see what happens. See what happens, man. My opponent just had a whole lot of nothing. I don't know. You know, I guess he just bricked. I mean, I don't care. This is a stun deck. I'll stun him. This is a different kind of stunning. My opponent just didn't have anything. And I'm just going to hit him in the face with Maw and Paw here. And also, sometimes that's what you got to do. I'm just checking over there. Okay, so now my opponent's going to have very few life points. Not very few, but, I mean, he's lost half of them already. He's already lost half of his life points. He's in quite a big pickle. So let's go ahead and make a Baguska and just sit on that for a moment. We'll sit on that for a moment so that if he actually does get something, this should stop that something. So what are you going to do, Thun? Part of the extravagant. He's looking for something. The question is what? That's the Upstart Goblin plus Pot of Extravagant. Is this an Ogdoadic deck? No. No, it isn't. I was thinking, why would you put Extravagance in the Ogdoadic deck that stops you from drawing stuff? What was that? Oh, Gaia. Right. Lester Soldier or Gaia the Fierce Knight. It could be either one of those things. Okay, so this is like Gaia the Fierce Knight deck. Alright, but I got Watt Cancel, so not too concerned. I'm not that concerned, what can I say? Not all that concerned. You know, he can make his big monster. I have Watt Cancel. Plus I got Baguska. So, not that intimidated, not gonna lie. No? You know, your monster goes to defense mode. His effects are also negated, so it doesn't really matter what you do. Don't even matter too much, does it? You can summon all the big things you want. Baguska's too powerful. Baguska is the strongest number. At least in my own humble opinion. Just because he can lock out so many other things. I mean, obviously it depends on who's first and all that, but, you know, I was first. So, clearly Baguska is the most powerful. Alright, so now this thing. And let's see. Once per turn, send a level 5 power monster supposed to come from the hand. Make Verte Anaconda. No. There shall be no Dragoons from you, young man. Or whatever else you were gonna. Maybe it's gonna make the Gaia fusion. I'm not taking that chance. I ain't taking no Dragoons to the face. No sirree. Thank you. I'm not into that sort of thing. Okay, so this is gonna be game right here. Unless he's got, like, I don't know, Battle Fader or something, but I'm rather doubtful that he has Battle Fader. Not a very popular card anymore, Battle Fader. But such is how it is. You know, sometimes with stun deck, you just gotta go old school stun. Even though this is an old school stun, it's, that would be gravity bind, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Good. Alrighty, so there's going to be a nice clean win against the Gaia guy, thanks to our good pal, the Baguska. Baguska, you saved my butt. So let's go ahead. You know what? We'll do one more duel, and then we'll go for the end screen. Alrighty, fourth and final opponent in an entirely new area, if you hadn't noticed. And we're just going to go right into it, folks. It's been a long time coming for this fourth duel, well, for me. And for you. And for you. A little bit more for me. But regardless, we're going second, which is unfortunate. Because we have the hand. I've got Toys of the Brethren. I've got my Cobra. I've got a Seahorse. I got stuff and things. My opponent is playing some sort of jank zombie deck, which might be the thing that saves me. We don't know. It depends on exactly what we're up against. So, let's see here. Yeah, let's go ahead. Do I want to keep the Seahorse? I kind of do. But I kind of need to use the Seahorse because I need something for What Cancel to work. Otherwise, What Cancel will be canceled, and I don't want that to happen. So yeah, what is it? Pyramid of Wonder. Zombies gain 200 attack for every monster opponent controls. Impermanence. Completely irrelevant. Doesn't affect me in any sort of way. Toys of the Brethren, my friend. It's time for me to summon some more monsters. So let's get a horse, and let's get our monk. Get these two brothers. Hello. So this will be a little tricky, because he does have this pyramid. And that is giving him a 600-point boost so long as I've got, monsters on the board. But luckily I've got the Imperial Order to just negate this, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. So we'll go ahead and end our turn, because I can't do battle phase, so we'll see what this guy's doing. Zombies are very powerful. They can do a whole lot of things, mostly Eldritch nowadays, and a little bit of Ballardruck. Let's see, thanks. It's got watts and stuff, that's for sure. Alright, so my opponent does nothing. I don't need to toys again. I think we'll be fine there. Let's put the horse in defense in the off chance that this is some sort of mirror force, and we'll go for battle phase. Go for battle phase. What are the odds of this thing having 2,000 defense points? None. Vampire familiar. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. That's what it says. It's a vampire card. It has to say blah, blah, blah. That's what all vampire cards say. So, this is some form of vampire, a janky kind, I suppose. And I can special summon once, but I don't need to. I mean, I've got my horse, I've got a monk. I'm pretty set. I am pretty darn set. Because this guy, he's pretty much locked out of special summoning. He's a zombie player. Zombies are all about special summoning from the grave and such, so I don't think he's going to be getting around this anytime soon, and so long as I get this horse in defense, there's little he can do about it. Granted, he has impermanences, but he didn't impermanence this, so that implies he has nothing. That or he just, maybe this is no, Rob? If your monster inflicts battle damage, send the top card of the dead to the grave. This is some jank zombie. I need to make a jank zombie deck of my own soon. I got a lot of decks piled up, but I really gotta do that. Just no Ballardrock, no Eldritch, maybe Scarlet, well, not Scarlet Sanguine, because that wouldn't work. I gotta make just a jank zombie deck with all the old stuff nobody plays no more, like Pyramid Turtle, Book of Life, Despair from the Dark, because he's cool looking. I see. I'm sorry, my friend. I'm gonna have to say no to that. Gonna have to say no to the Harpy's Feather Dust, because we trolling today. So normally I would be all for you doing that, but not today, my friend. Not today. So that's gonna be duel numero quattro. I do have a replay against Abhis or Ooga whatever they're called nowadays. And I'll show that one off after the end screen, but for now, let's go for the end screen and talk more about this deck. Alrighty, everybody, here today, Thunder Lockdown. We actually managed 4 wins, which is surprising. This is one of those decks where if you get the right hand, it works beautifully. And it also, depends on it depends on your opponent, it depends on the hand you get. But when it works, it works. This deck actually worked rather well, and I'm really happy that it did. Because when I went into this, I was like, this could get a little tricky sometimes, if I don't have Toys of the Brethren. But it worked out just fine. You know, it worked out just fine. We were able to lock our opponent out with things like Maguska if we needed it. Zap Pony was here when we needed him to be here. And things worked out just fine. And I am happy that it did. So, it's an interesting deck. You know, Zap Mustang, interesting monster. Abusable by anybody. But, you know, in this setting, you know, Ties of the Brethren, it was just nice to put him out here. So, I enjoyed this deck. Hope you guys did too. If you did, smash the like button. Oh, my voice. My voice is going. My voice is going. Okay, I'm good now. I'm good. I'm good. But, yeah, thank you for watching. Hit like if you liked it. Consider subbing if you haven't. And I should, you know, now that I'm back to doing the videos more regularly, I'm back from my quick vacation from doing this stuff. So next time will be some Tri-Brigade, Dogmaticas, and then I gotta do the Karibo deck, and then, what was next? Gimmick Puppets, and then Frogs, and then Jankies. We got a lot of decks to do, so I'll be going off to do that. Thank you guys for watching one more time. Your boy Mez was signing out. I'll see you guys again next time with more Yu-Gi-Oh! Action. Take care.